Welcome to the world of CDR BeerLab, the fast and easy-to-use analysis system designed for breweries of all sizes. With CDR BeerLab, you can monitor in real time the quality of your beer, from the grain to the finished product, analyzing parameters like bitterness, color, alcohol content, and much more, all directly in your brewery. No more waiting for lab results. As the Brewfeast brewery claims, with CDR BeerLab, the immediate benefit was undoubtedly the speed of execution in the various analyses that we undertake here in-house in the internal laboratory. Simple, accurate and fast. With CDR BeerLab, controlling every stage of production is within everyone's reach. Let's discover how to enhance your beer with a professional tool and immediate results.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second session of our fall virtual conference. I want to give an extra thanks to CDR BeerLab and ABS Commercial for all their support on this one. Hope you enjoy the sessions over the next 2 days. As always, if you get busy, they'll be available for rewatch forever, so you can check those out on our YouTube channel by searching Craft Beer Professionals. But now I'm going to pass it over to the team at CDR BeerLab for their next talk on achieving beer excellence essential guidelines for brewers. So, everybody, enjoy. Cheers.
Hello, everybody. Hello, I hope you are able to see the presentation. Andrew, you can interrupt me if it's not like this. So, in this presentation, I'm going to introduce you a specific system to analyze all your brewing process. And after this presentation, I'm going to show you a real demonstration, switching the camera and showing you how you can easily do analysis with the BeerLab. Okay, so before to start, a very little introduction about CDR. CDR is an Italian company based in Florence that basically works in 4 different sectors. Here you can see the telematics sector, where we produce automatic toll for the motorways in Italy. We are also involved in the medical diagnostics, producing specific analyzer for hematology or hemostasis. And about these 2 sectors, considering a little bit the history of CDR, we started our activity back to 70, more or less. And after 20 years, we, in collaboration with the big international company, we started our activity in the medical diagnostics. After we've moved all the accuracy and the repeatabilities of the medical diagnostics into the food analysis, starting our food analysis more or less around 2000. So we've been working in the food analysis and in the beverage analysis for about 25 years. The last sector is a sector started actually in the COVID pandemic, is a sector where we produce sensor for a specific kind of sensors for quality control. Here, very quickly, we produce CDR Food Lab to do a lot of analysis on different kind of food, liquid or solid. We have a specific analyzer for palm oil or for olive oil, and of course, all the beverage line where we have a wine lab, the beer lab, a kombucha lab, and a cider lab. We have also developed a new analyzer recently that is dedicated to the coffee. Okay, we sell, of course, in all over the world. We sell in more than 100 countries. We have distributors spread worldwide. We can reach every corner of the planet without any problem. Here, just a few references of a BeerLab. As you can see, we have the BeerLab is a system that can solve and improve the quality control of breweries of very small size up to the big plants like, for example, ABI or Heineken. So we have beer labs spread all over the world on very different kind of breweries. Okay, so let's start looking at the system. Okay, so the system basically is composed by an analyzer. Here you can see two versions. We have two versions of the BeerLab, the big one and the small one. We are going to see the differences after when we will do the presentation. Both systems use pre-filled reagents, pre-filled and ready-to-use reagents. We produce both parts. We produce the analyzer and the reagents as well. So we are able to combine these two parts, supplying a system we are going to see after already calibrated and ready to use. Both analyzers are thermostated at 37 degrees Celsius. Sorry about that. I know you are used to the Fahrenheit. And of course, as I already told you, a junior version is available. The reagents are supplied in bags containing 10 pre-filled cuvettes. So the reagents are made in this way. Inside you find 10 pre-filled cuvettes already calibrated and ready to use. And of course, to collect the sample or the reagents, you need just two pipettes that are included in the system to take the sample, or as I told you, also for the reagents. We are going to see everything after. Okay, what are the advantages of the CDR BeerLab? Okay, here just a few, the main important advantages. I think the first could be the possibility of using the system directly in the brewery without any laboratory. So you don't need a laboratory, you don't need glassware, you don't need any fume hoods or something like this. You need to do all the analysis we are going to see, just the analyzer and the reagents. Another important advantage, of course, is the easiness of using the system. All is optimized by us for an easy use for everyone. Okay, so you have pre-filled cuvettes, you have reagents ready to use, and so on. And as I just anticipated, the third advantage, ready to use reagents. All our reagents except the bitterness is pre-filled in cuvettes. Okay, the system is already calibrated because, as I told you before, we are the producer of both parts, analyzers and reagents. So we are able to supply a reagent already calibrated. This is thanks to the fact that we are the producer of both parts. Of course, another important advantage is the reduction of the analysis time. Just to give you an example, we are able to do an SO2 on beer in 1 minute, or a free amino nitrogen in 3 minutes, or an alcohol in 10 minutes. Very quickly, you can take decision on your brewing process. We use small quantities of sample. This helps a lot in the optimization of the procedure, and of course, it helps a lot to speed up all the analysis. In the end, CDR BeerLab can be used by anyone. You don't need to be a chemist to do all the parameters we are going to see after. Okay, so these are the main advantages of the CDR BeerLab analyzer. Okay, let's see a little bit more in details the features. Here we have the features of the equipment. As you can see here, we have represented the analyzer, the big analyzer. Okay, so you have basically a screen, a printer, an incubation part, and a reading part. So basically, you don't have any maintenance to do. Okay, so the analyzer is very strong. You don't need to calibrate the analyzer over the time. So as I told you, no calibration required because we calibrate our reagents. So we supply a system already calibrated and ready to use. We use LEDs as wavelength sources. Of course, the analyzer is a photometer, and the using of the LEDs allows us to have a very robust reading cell that can have a very, very long life. Basically, the incubation part allows you to work in two different ways. You can do a session of 16 analyses of the same parameter on different beer, okay, at the same time, or you can do different analysis on one specific sample at the same time. So in this sense, you can speed up a lot your analysis, so you can save a lot of time, because you can play and you can put all together different analysis and saving, as I told you, a lot of time to realize your quality control. We give 3 years warranty. This means that, as I told you before, the system is very robust. And last but not the least, you have a touch screen to follow the procedure step by step. We are going to see the demonstration after, so you don't need methods, paper methods or something like this. You have everything written on the screen. What about the features of the reagents? As I told you, we have reagents in pre-filled cuvettes, so all is ready to use. We have pre-calibrated reagents for the fact we produce both parts, analyzer and reagents. We use micro quantities of a sample. This is not a problem. This is an advantage to treat the sample, because we are going to see after, of course, you need a little treatment for the beer. You have to degas the beer, basically. And if you use a small amount of sample, the degassing of the beer is much easier and faster. About the shelf life of the reagents, we have a pretty long shelf life, considering we sell packages of 10 tests or 100 tests. And the shelf life goes from 6 months to 18 months. Here we are, the two accessories you need to use. They are a couple of easy accessories. As you can see, we have a small centrifuge. Again, small because we use micro quantity. We are going to see we have the centrifuge here as the ultrasonic bath along our BeerLab. So the centrifuge is used to clarify the wort, while the ultrasonic bath, a very cheap ultrasonic bath, is used to degas the sample and allows us to have a sample without CO2, because otherwise it's impossible to do a sampling. So with these two basic accessories, and of course the BeerLab and the reagents, you are able to run all the parameters we are seeing here. For example, here you have a table where you can see the analysis we are able to do on beer, water, and wort, of course. So as you can see, we are able to analyze sugars at different levels, and you have also an idea about the testing time. Okay. Of course, all this information are on our website, so you can have a look at it. We are able to do the lactic acid, bitterness, color. We are able to do the alcohol at different levels, of course, for alcohol-free or alcohol-free beers or normal beer, BDKs, yeast vitality, and all the others, pH, calcium, starch, carbohydrates. Two important analyses like free amino nitrogen, total SO2, or polyphenols or zinc. We have also the entire panel to have the screening of the water you use for your beer production. Okay, here we can have a look now a little bit more in detail about how you can use the BeerLab in your process. So you can easily monitor the meshing. through the analysis of the pH, of the color, in order to monitor the extraction of your color in the beer. An important analysis is the sugar analysis. So you can monitor the fermentation, the mashing, and also the fermentation, and you can, of course, achieve the potential alcohol you can have in your final beer. Of course, you can monitor the mashing through the starch analysis. Okay, here a little focus on the sugars analysis. That is an interesting test to monitor both mashing and fermentation. With our fermentable sugars kit, you are able to detect glucose, fructose, maltodextrose, and maltose. Okay, we have also the kit that we call the carbohydrates kit that allows you to monitor, to detect the final level of your carbohydrates in your beer. So by difference, you can detect your dextrins. So with this tool, you are able to, as I told you, to monitor the fermentation, to monitor your recipe, and to reproduce exactly the beer in the same way. Of course, is something more that an analysis compared to the analysis of the density. Okay, because here you can understand much better the real level of your sugars. What about the bitterness? In case of the bitterness, we have practically with the BeerLab an optimization of the reference method in terms of volume and handling. We have reduced a lot all the solvents used as octane, basically, of the bitterness analysis. And the ratio is more or less 1 to 10. So we use practically 1 milliliter to detect the bitterness. So with this easy method, you are able to study your recipe or optimize the additions of the hops in an easy way, again, without glassware or without fume hoods, or practically without a laboratory. What about the alcohol fermentation? In case of the alcohol fermentation, an important parameter is the free amino nitrogen, the FAN. Okay, and of course, FAN is important for the nutrition of the yeast, so is a very important parameter before to start the fermentation. But actually is also an important parameter in the finished beer. So we are able to check both wort and finished beer in order to adjust the better level of the free amino nitrogen in order to avoid in the finished beer off flavors. Okay, so as I told you, within 3 minutes you are able to have these results directly in the brewery. As you know, I think you know, I'm sure you know better than me that it's important to find a good compromise to have high FAN values before the fermentation and the low FAN values into the finished beer in order to avoid, as I said before, off flavors and of course to extend the biological stability. What about the SO2? This is another important parameter. You are able to check the SO2 in the very easy way. This is the analysis we are going to see at the end of the presentation. Okay. Anyway, the handling you'll see is more or less the same for all the other analyses. Okay. So we have chosen the SO2 because it's an important analysis, and of course is one of the quickest analysis we have. And in this case, we are able in 1 minute to have the result on the beer. And of course, we use the EBC reference method. In this case, we use the same principle without the distillation. So we take directly the degassed beer and we run the analysis. We are going to see after the demonstration. Here we are to the VDKs about the conditioning part of the beer. We are able to monitor the diacetyl rest. Actually, we do all the VDKs in our case. And unfortunately, of course, it's impossible to do the VDKs directly on the beer. And about this, we have developed a specific kit to distill the beer. Okay, so easily with this kit, you can distill the beer and you can work on the distillate running the analysis of VDKs. Of course, the sugars is another important analysis if you do a second fermentation. Okay, so you can understand much better the final level of the sugars at the end of the first fermentation, after you are able to add the right value of the sugars in order to avoid the unpleasant problems of overgassing in the bottle. So this is another important application of the sugars analysis. So you can use the sugar analysis in the meshing part in order to see the conversion of the starch in sugars. You can use the sugars to monitor the fermentation, and most of all, you can analyze the sugars at the end of fermentation to understand the end point of your fermentation. And of course, again, after the detection of the end point of the fermentation, if you do a second fermentation in bottle, you can add the right amount of sugars in order to avoid the problems of the overgassing. A few words about the no-alcoholic beers. As we've seen before, we are able to do the alcohol analysis on all the ranges possible. Here we have two calibrations, as you can see, about the no-alcoholic beers. And here you have a table made in collaboration with one of our customer of a comparison between the CDR BeerLab, the alcohol declared in the label, and the analysis of an important laboratory in UK that is Camden BRI. As you can see, there is a perfect correlation between a perfect agreement between the BeerLab analysis and the reference method. Very important also the water analysis. As I told you, with the BeerLab, you can analyze beer, wort, and water. So practically, you can explore, you can do your quality control on the entire brewing making process. Also, the water analysis is very important in order to obtain a reproducible beer from the point of view of taste and also the sensory point of view. So here you have what you can analyze. Before we've seen all the measuring ranges. So you can detect the hardness, detecting calcium and magnesium separately. You can detect the alkalinity, also the sulfates, chlorides, bicarbonate, or zinc. Zinc important, of course, for the fermentation. And so all these parameters are very important for the water. So with the same unit, you are able to do all these parameters along with all the parameters we've seen before for beer and wort. Here, just to I put our collection of articles. These are articles made in collaboration with distributors or different kind of customers we have worldwide. So we did a specific study on the sugars evolution in the brewing process. We have studied the effect of the dry hopping or other examples about, for example, the analysis of meshing and so on. So here you can, on our website, you can download this collection of articles we've done. So in the end, CDR BeerLab gives to the brewmaster the possibility to create a complete and accurate in-house quality control directly in the brewery. As I told you, without realizing a laboratory, without having a laboratory. We are going to see during the presentation that the BeerLab and the two accessories we have seen, the ultrasonic bath and the centrifuge, they can be used on a normal table without any problems. So you can realize all this analysis directly in your brewery. CDR BeerLab is also intensively used in the beer industry sector by global brands. This because, again, the easiness of use, the speed of the analysis allows to improve a lot of the analysis, a lot of the time-consuming analysis. For example, just to give you the example of free amino nitrogen, a normal 9-hydrin method for free amino nitrogen takes 2 hours to have one result. With the BeerLab, in 4 minutes you have the result. Or also SO2 with the normal reference method, it takes 30 minutes. In our case, in 1 minute you can realize the analysis. So this is why the BeerLab is used both by craft breweries and global brands. CDR BeerLab can, as I told you, for all the advantages we've seen, can be used by everyone. And you don't need chemical skill. You don't need to be an expert in chemistry to do the analysis. And in the end, you are able to save money and time, improving the quality of beer at the same time. Okay. This is why you have an entire optimization about all the methods, and you can have results practically in a few minutes of the analysis of your wort, beer, and water. Okay, so if you now we have the presentation, so we need just 1 minute to switch the camera, and we can start. Okay. I have to change the camera now. Okay. I hope you can see everything. Okay. So here you have the BeerLab. Okay. So this is the big analyzer, and this is the small one. We are going to see a little bit the differences that are very small, depending on what you are talking about. Anyway, we are going to see the differences between the small analyzer and the big analyzer after, while we are doing the analysis. So here you have the analyzer with the incubation part, the reading part, and the screen, and of course the printer. This is an example of reagent. Okay, so this is a package of total SO2 for beer. Is the same, is another package, of course, for free amino nitrogen. Anyway, the shape is the same. Inside, you find always 10 cuvettes with pre-filled cuvettes, 10 pre-filled cuvettes already calibrated and ready to use. Here, I've just prepared a cuvette to run the analysis, and here you can see the sample of the beer, and we have already degassed the beer here with this ultrasonic bath. It takes a couple of minutes, not more, to have a beer completely degassed. And here you have the centrifuge, and you can see the dimensions of the accessories. They are very small. We use the centrifuge, as I said before, to clarify the wort. Of course, you have to remove the turbidity, so easily in, again, another couple of minutes, 3 minutes, you can easily clarify a wort to do all the analysis you want. Okay, let's see now the screen. So here we can select. You are able to see depending on the lights. We select analysis. As you can see, this is a surprise because as we have seen before over the presentation, we are able. We produce also wine lab, a cider lab, and here there is the possibility for the customers that produce not only beer but also cider or wine or kombucha to have all in one analyzer. So you need only one analyzer to do all the analysis you want on beer and also the other beverages that we are able to analyze. Now we are going to select beer. And here you have the list of the parameters. So nitrogen, sulfur dioxide, alcohol, bitterness, lactic acid, polyphenols, etc. Basically all the parameters we've seen before. So we select now sulfur dioxide, SO2, and now we are starting the analysis. Okay, so the analyzer asks us to for a check of the channel, and after we can start after this check. So here you can see the screen. So on the screen you can read the method you have to follow, or if you want you can call through the help here the entire method, actually not the entire, but a method step by step that helps you with the procedure, also with the pictures. Okay. So the brewmaster, or in general the customer, is guided directly by the screen. Okay, so on the screen it is written now to add 100 microliters of R1A. I forgot to tell you that in the package we have 10 cuvettes here, and inside 2 bottles of reagents to perform all the 10 analyses. Okay, so now, as it is written in the method, we are going to add 100 microliters of R1A. There you are. Okay, so here we take 100 microliters of R1A, and now we add the first reagent directly into the cuvette, like this. Okay, we shake by inversion, and now we have to collect the sample. We take another tip, and we are going to take the degassed beer, and in this case it is written to add 200 microliters. So we had this pipette is a pipette from 10 to 100, so we had twice the volume. And like this, we put the sample into the liquid, and in this way we are able to wash the sample into the liquid. And we repeat another time in order to add 200 microliters. Here, of course, I have to just wipe the tip in order to add the precise amount of sample. Okay. So we shake by inversion, and we, as it is written in the method, we put the cuvette into the reading cell with the blue light, so it's impossible to miss it. And we read the blank, the starting color. After this, we are going to add, if I remember well, 50 microliters. Anyway, we are going to read the method on the screen. 50 microliters, yes, they are 50 microliters of R2 with the same pipette. Of course, we have to change the volume to 50 microliters. We take a new tip, and we had this is the reagent that starts the reaction. Okay. And I put the cube, of course, I shake the cubet in order to start the reaction properly, and I put the cubet into the reading cell, and I start. 1 minute of reading practically, and we have the results. You can imagine that the handling practically for all the analysis is like this. So you can have an idea about how easy it is the using of a system like this along the brewing process. About the junior, here we can see that basically we have the same interface. Of course, we don't have the printer, we don't have the incubation part. We have only a reading part that can be used as the incubation. You can run an analysis here, for example, and you can use the other 3 cells as incubation. So maximum you can do 3 analyses at the same time. With the big version, you can carry out up to 16 analyses at the same time. The main difference is that this analyzer can be tailored as you like. So here, for example, you have an example of configuration made by alcohol, nitrogen, and bitterness. So if a brewery doesn't need all the parameters, you can choose a solution like this. Okay. Anyway, from the accuracy and repeatability point of view, both analyzers are exactly the same, and use, of course, the same reagents. And okay, in this case, if you want, you can choose. Now the SO2 analysis is very fast, but for other analysis like FAN or alcohol, you have to wait 3 minutes. So in the waiting time, in the incubation time, you can select another analysis and start another analysis. Here you have displayed on the screen the result, and you have, of course, the result printed on the paper. So this is basically what is the BeerLab. As you can see, you have the analyzer and the accessories on a table like this. So it's a very self-contained unit that allows you to do or to realize all the quality control you need, the chemical quality control you need in your brewery. If you have questions, so the presentation and the demonstration is finished. If you have a question, I'm here to answer.